Thanks a lot for joining us in the rack. Thursdays usually, or lately, the last 2 weeks we've had matches, but I thought I'd mix it up a little bit and do another segment of in the rack. I'm Dante, as you know, and for the last couple streams that I've had, I've been joined with Jake, Captain America, and we have our special guest, Rob Shipman. A couple local players. Little Deuces up there. Little Chris, how's it going? Oh, you can barely hear us. Uh-oh. Thank you for pointing that out. How's that? A little bit better? All right. Again, if you're just now joining us, this is the first in the rack in a couple months. So I thought it'd be kind of cool, instead of showing some matches, to have a couple of the local players come in and share some of their opinions. We're going to talk about many different things. First, we're just going to start off by introductions. Jake, go ahead and let us know who you are, what you do. Well, you don't have to tell us what you do, but...
My name's Jake Bradley. I'm 39 years old. I just moved from out of town. My hobbies include playing pool, watching YouTube when I'm bored, and reading. And I also just realized that Rob, looks like little Khabib. Oh, you can't see it here.
Yeah, you can't really see that.
Sorry, it's
I
funny.
know who little Khabib is.
I'm gonna show you. So, Rob, why don't you tell us about yourself?
Before we move on to Rob, what's your ratings and what leagues do you play?
I am a 505 Fargo rating. I am a 5 8-ball 7 9-ball and APA. I have played UPA, but I don't remember my ratings. And I play Monday 8-ball, Tuesday 9-ball, and both BCA.
All right.
Good numbers. All right, Rob Shipman. Been playing pool leagues for, 5 years. I'm a APA 7 and 9-ball, and APA 5 and 8-ball. Fargo a 480. I used to play UPA also. I think I left those at 7-7 for 8 and 10.
Okay, I'm going to stop you guys right there. You said a 5 and 8-ball and a 7 and 9-ball for the both of you guys.
Did you catch us both smirk a little as we said a 5 and 8 ball?
You guys are what I worry about when I have to shoot against you guys, especially an 8-ball.
I find it pretty hilarious myself.
Explain this, how you guys are able to be 5 and 7.
For me, I have two explanations, or at least you can call them excuses. The first one is I don't ever play 8-ball. I'm not a fan. So I spend all my time practicing 9-ball, and then by the time I do play 8-ball in APA, I am usually 3 sheets to the wind. So there's that.
Oh, yeah, that could contribute.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think both of us are historically have been even long time 6s and 8 ball and APA, and we both just went down recently within the last few months.
Yeah.
Well, no, actually, I spent a good session and a half as a 5 and 8 ball, but I think mine had a lot to do, not really that I don't play 8 ball, but I focused on 9 ball because I started playing BCA leagues in 9 ball, and I was really focusing on playing really good 9 ball.
In your opinion, though, do you think that there's that much difference between the two games? I mean, like the concept, make your ball, get position for the next ball. I mean, that hasn't changed between the two games. It's still...
But patterns have changed.
Okay.
Because you don't have a specific ball to shoot at. Okay, unless you plan your pattern extremely well, right? And it goes according to plan, that's one thing. But in 8 ball, if it doesn't go to plan, then you have to change your plan. You have to make sure it's right. And then in your head, you're like, I hope this is the right idea. And then it is or it isn't. In 9 ball, you know exactly what ball to go for. You can see that layout on the table, and that for me is easier to plan a pattern in my mind.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you don't get in your head as much playing 9 ball because you have to shoot ball X. There's no option, so you have one choice, and so you're taking away all that time to make decisions on how you're going to play an 8 ball table, and you're going, well, I got to play that ball. How am I going to get to the next ball? That's the only decision to make.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
I think also an 8 ball for me anyway, in 8 ball, and I'll bet this happened to you a little bit too. You just maybe didn't think about it. On my team,
Trauma.
I was really the player that would have to take on the highest level players on other teams, so I never was playing players that were equal to me as a 6 or even as a 5. I was always playing 7s that were monster players that I would have a real hard time beating. So I had a real bad streak there.
Exactly
for a while.
what happens to me all the time. You're like, Jeff Ost, Jake, you're up. I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah, well, Jeff's
Awesome.
Definitely one of the ones
Clark
that
Smith,
put some
go ahead, Jake.
beatings on me. Yeah.
Sweet.
For those of you who are in the chat, I just want to give a shout out to you guys. Little Chris, thank you for joining. Dana from the practice room, thank you for joining. As we're talking, feel free to come up with some of the questions on your own for these guys, or any comments that you have to caveat what they're saying. So you mentioned Jeff Ost. He's been a guest host on this show as well. He's actually doing some good things. He's currently rated a 9 now.
He's jumping up there.
And rightfully so, because that guy puts in table time. So good for you, Jeff. We miss you. So we're gonna ask a couple questions. We're gonna go over some questions, and then as a treat for my guests and Jake, that I have a couple clips of some matches that either one of us have played or that nice. I like that that we played. And what's going to happen is the person who's playing is not going to say anything about the match itself. It's going to be like an analysis by these two good players here on what's going to happen and how it goes. Ron Johnson, thanks for joining. Jim, hey, what's going on? Thanks for joining. And in their analysis, feel free to give your analysis as well. So, all right, let's go on with the first couple questions. Those of you out in the chat room, please feel free to add in your 2 cents. That'd be great. So my first question to everybody, basically, in APA, do you feel that being lucky is better or being good? And if so, which applies to what? Now, let me give you an example of what I'm saying. Now, if you put in 2 2s that have to play against each other, I'm going to say that's where luck kind of plays a big factor, because most of them, they're just bangers anyway, and if they so happen to make something, they can creep their way to a win because it's points per ball. So let's go ahead and start with Rob. What's your opinion about that?
Luck is a huge factor in 9 ball, in my opinion, obviously. But not just about making shots, about getting those hooks, right? But I do have a saying that I like to always say whenever this kind of topic comes up, and it's from a well-known pool movie. We'll see if anybody knows where this came from, but luck
only 5
is a
out
skill in itself.
Luck is a skill in itself. Anybody out in the pool chat room there know where that movie is from? If you do, type it in. Let us know.
Luck, be a lady. No.
Tonight.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So, for luck versus skill, I think the higher skill you get, the luckier you actually get, because you can kind of calculate a strategic miss, if that makes sense. Like, okay, well, I get like a two-way miss. I can go for this bank, but if I leave it here, then I leave them hooked or safe, or at least a hard shot. Pure luck, like your example with like a 2-2, at that point I would rather take luck than skill, because you know a 2-2 isn't going to be running 4 or 5 balls in a row.
Right.
Yeah.
So your first part there goes right exactly along with luck is a skill in itself,
Yeah.
right? Like,
I mean, look at Efren Reyes. He always says,
yeah,
"I got lucky."
You can create luck, right?
Yeah.
Once you know some things
Yeah.
to do.
Yeah.
But watching a player run out, even if it's against you, is always fun to watch. Just thinking in their head and watching them look at the table, watching their hand movements or how they place their cue on the table. It's interesting to me to watch that and try to get in the mind of, okay, what are they thinking? What are they looking at? Because we all do it. So
Yeah. So from the chat room, Todd has joined us. Todd, thank you for joining us. American Hustle, thanks for joining us. So a couple answers from the chat. Vincent, luck in itself is an art. Little Chris says the color of money. Are they spot on?
Yeah, it's the intro of Color of Money. So a
Yep.
lot of people don't pick up that was in Color of Money, but it's in the very first intro.
when he's
When they're
describing
rolling
a
the
ball.
when
Got
he's
Phil
describing
Collins
9
playing
ball.
in the background there.
Yeah, exactly.
Speaking of which, what is your favorite movie of choice when it comes to billiards, pool, things like
I'd have
that?
to say Pool Hall Junkies as far as entertainment goes, followed by Color of Money, and then The Hustler, always a classic, but it is slow. It's. I think it's more about him getting his head right than
It's-
about pool.
Yeah, and plus there's a little twist of a love story in
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Well, that even exists in Color of Money too, right? If you're looking,
Love?
if you want
In
to
Color
look
of
at it that
Money?
way. Sure.
Well, sort no, no. I'm gonna disagree.
But yeah, I agree. Pool Hall Junkies, I think, would
That's a
be
fun one.
my favorite.
Yeah.
Hey, here's a question for you guys. Don't look at the screen. What year did The Hustler come out?
The Hustler, 1967.
We got
67
67,
or 68. Yeah, right around
68.
there. 68.
The practice room says 1961.
I was so close.
Is it that?
You were in, yeah, you're within 10. That's
Yeah.
good.
There's
That's
a margin
good.
of error, plus or minus 10 years. All I remember is that
What
they
was
had the
Color of
ability
Money?
for color, but they made it black and white,
Was Color of Money 84?
probably, or 89.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of which, Tom Cruise, have you guys caught the movie Maverick yet?
Not yet.
Oh my gosh.
I don't keep hearing it's
Looks
good.
I keep hearing people say it's better than the first one.
Yeah.
It is, because the storyline in the first one, Top Gun, the story was shit. But, Maverick, and I'm not going to lie, I cried man tears
Did ya?
when that came out, or when I saw the movie, so don't judge me.
That's fine. No,
I cried in Color of Money. So.
All right, Rob, this one is for you. I noticed that under your name it says the engineer. What does that mean? Are you that technical on the pool table, or is that you're actually an engineer and you build buildings and rockets and shit?
So, it's kind of a two-part thing. I am a telecom engineer.
Oh, okay.
So I'm a telecom systems engineer, but I kind of got that from the fact that I overthink the table a lot of times. So it's kind of a joke on myself that, quit being an engineer and just play the game, right?
Yeah. All right. So let's go ahead and go to our first clip. And this one right here is going to be all Jake.
Oh boy.
Yeah, because I'm actually playing this against Rob. So we're going to go ahead and play it. We're going to pause it in certain areas. We're going to let you dissect the game as it happens. So here we go.
Who's breaking?
Must be Dante.
That's Dante's
I do
break.
not have a glove.
Yeah, that was a good break there.
All right, go ahead.
That was a really good break, good control on the cue ball there, and I think that's the one ball in the side pocket, so it must have hit the tip there or got kicked. I didn't see how that went out, but if it didn't, I think it would have gone right up towards that top right pocket, which would have been a fantastic spot for you, minus that 5 ball in the way. My thought from here is you're going to cheat that pocket, and probably what I would try to do is draw it just a little bit into that bottom left rail before that end left. Yeah,
Your left or my left? Down here?
Oh, I see what's going. Yeah, that.
So
Draw
you're
a little bit into that rail with some right bottom spin.
So we're gonna hit right about here and then come down this way.
Yeah,
Okay, that's your prediction.
that's my prediction.
All right.
Top would be better, but that's what I think. Because you got that cluster of balls there. That's why
Yeah, you
top
gotta-
isn't ideal.
You gotta wait for me to walk around. I just broke and I have to grab my shooting cue. Brian Cutler has joined in. Hey, he was actually supposed to be one of the hosts tonight, but he had a match to play. So
Yeah, Brian. How you gonna play your match without jump cue?
Oh, you're gonna sell me that jump cue?
Yeah.
wow.
All right, what'd you do there? Did you go bottom right?
All right. Did
I
you?
missed it. Sorry.
Okay. Well, let's go back and see what happens here.
Yep, bottom right. And it took off on you. So now that I see that, I think what would have been better would have been bottom left, and that way when it hits that bottom rail, it kind of kicks back or dies.
Okay. So now, given what we got here, what
Well,
is?
now I think I can't tell if you can see the two, but my guess is either you're going to kick from that short rail behind the two, or, well, that's what I would do, and try to hide it behind that 9 there.
So hit about right about here.
Yeah, that's what
And
I would
try to kick
do.
into it.
And then have that hit that long short rail. We'll call it the
Okay.
bottom left rail.
All right.
Yeah. Nope. You must be able to see part of it.
No,
Two
it's only
rails.
2 rails.
Missed it. Ball in hand.
All right. I'm gonna go ahead and pause it here.
This will
Okay.
be interesting for
Tell
me
me-
to watch and see if I would make the same decisions now watching it that I'm going to
Yeah.
make on the table.
So
Absolutely.
I think a lot of inexperienced players would probably shoot that 2 and a 3, which isn't a bad shot, but the problem is if that 2 goes up on that top left rail and the cue ball stays down on the side rail, then you don't have a really good shot. So I would give ball in hand behind the 2, shoot it in the bottom left corner.
So
and
like,
then,
so you're saying
yeah,
not to shoot the combination, but
no.
to actually shoot this way.
yeah. And then from there, you can do a couple of things. I would probably just use 1 to 2 rails, 1 rail, 3 ball, top left rail, into the center of table.
Now, are we shooting this soft so we can
Yes,
stay
just
right
soft,
here?
Nice stop shot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody out in the chat got any predictions? Please share as we go along.
Then the other problem you have with that combo is if you hit it dead on, that 2 drops, you're SOL for your 4 ball.
Rob's wearing a fashionable red shirt. Oh,
I don't even remember this match. Oh, I was pretty careless with that.
yeah.
Oh, I learned a new rule in BCA, by the way. If you have the cue ball in your hand and your pinky touches another ball, that is a cue ball foul and
Oh,
ball
yeah?
in hand. I didn't know that.
Oh, you didn't?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched it
Even in
unfold.
APA, that's a foul.
Blew my mind.
So American Hustle said I would go for the combo. 3 is a little harder to get to the 4. That's what he
think so.
says. So let's see what happens. Well, let's see what Rob does here.
I don't
Aside
think so.
from just rolling the ball nonchalantly on the table.
I don't think that 3's as deep as he thinks it is. It's
No, it looks like you got plenty of room on that 3 ball. Did you rattle that? Wow. Well, that's fun.
So what do you think you missed that, Rob?
I was probably not focused on the shot at all.
Yeah, it was
on what I was doing next.
I can tell you this from playing with Rob on a couple sessions. Him and I miss ball in hand more than anyone else on the team. It's awful. So this is a easy little 1 rail, 2 into that bottom left. Get yourself some space, and then one of the things that I think of.
Yeah, that's good. Though.
One of the tempting things is to go rail first on that short side rail into that 3. I don't like that because I'd like to have a better angle coming across the middle of the table or even below that side pocket on the left side to get onto the 4 ball. Ideally, you'd like to be on the right side of the shooting line of the 4 ball or on the bottom side towards the center pocket. And that way you have an easy shape onto that 5. If you don't, you can go 2 rails back into the side, but it's just a little bit more hard.
All right. Here we go. We're like brothers and stuff. That's what Dana says.
Yeah. A little more room would have been nice there. That way if you needed to put any kind of English on, you're fine. But you shouldn't need a whole lot on this shot. Just probably a tip or 2 right. Get it into that top left rail. And then let the cue ball do its thing. You don't want to overhit it. Ideally, if you want to be by that, where the center pocket is, the first diamond on the bottom.
Right here?
No, opposite side, kitty corner.
Like down here?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, where, like,
that's going to hit right below that first diamond right there.
Right there?
Actually, it's going to hit further, but that's what you want the spin to do. Little corkscrew.
Yeah.
I've seen that shot once on Looney Tunes.
All right, here we go. Let's see if your prediction is correct.
A little hard. Leg position on the short side here. This is just a simple soft shot, pocket speed, roll the cue ball up to the middle of the table again, and then we'll shoot that 5 back in that top right corner. That's about all you can do because you're on the rail. Look at that, nice shot. Perfect. Little stun shot here, bring it over. Actually, if you could stop it, that'd be fine.
It's just a stop shot. No.
Yeah. But he's got a small angle, so it's going to drift towards that upper rail.
Really
I think he's put draw on it. Look at that. What did I tell you? Stop shot here all day.
You think that 7 goes by?
Oh, yeah. I'm the only one with glasses.
I always look at those wrong on TV tables. There is like they're not going to go.
I'm just assuming it goes.
Probably does.
And since we got some angle here, it should bounce off that rail just a little bit. Yeah. Easy roll top. Go forward to that bottom rail. Or, if you really want to, hit it with some speed and come back against where that cue ball is right now. Stop. Boom. I need to quit my job. This is way more fun. So here's a fun piece of advice I got from somebody a long time ago. If you're able to, he goes, slam in the winning ball. Put the fear of God into your opponent.
Slam it in?
Yeah.
That doesn't
It's
seem
not
like...
good advice, but it is fun to do.
Well, a shot like that, I probably would have hit that one in pretty hard just because all of his shots were relatively soft little shots, and I'd like to just let my stroke out every once in a while. And you know you could on that shot, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
So your breakdown was pretty accurate. I mean, there were some shots in there that, you know...
He got the call right what he did on the first shot, but I don't think that was the right shot.
You don't think so?
No.
On the 1 ball?
I would have gone 2 rails back over and shot that 2 into that.
You do have more room that way, but you have a lot of traffic as well.
It was the 6 and 7 was there, like you could split the 6
But
and
you have
7.
a lot of
with
traffic.
Yeah,
That's
that's
the only
pretty
problem.
open though.
If you're going from the 1 ball on the side into that bottom left corner.
Shooting that little ball down there, I mean, that's a tough one to control.
It is, but the problem is if you hit any of those balls on the way back, you're now banking the 2.
All right. Moving on to next couple of questions before we get to the next clip. My question is pattern racking. A lot of people will have a bunch of opinions about pattern racking. What is your guys' opinion about pattern racking?
I've been doing it in 8-ball. Sorry, the Corey dual break is just fun. If you guys haven't seen that, it's intensely fun to watch. And watching him do it is insane because he'll rack in a way where either all the solids or all the stripes will come out, and then the other balls will group back down at the bottom of the table, and then it's an easy run for him. If you want to eliminate pattern racking, then you just have your opponent rack for you, or a ref. But anytime you have rack your own, you're going to run that risk.
That doesn't eliminate pattern racking either, because they could be
rides.
pattern racking you in a negative situation, right?
That's their idea.
Yeah.
I mean, that's their goal, is to make it hard for you to run out.
Yeah.
So Dana from the break room throws in something interesting, and actually it was something that
That is a good
I
idea.
was gonna do with some of the other content creators that I had the pleasure of knowing. Is that we would set the balls up, and then each of us film ourselves shooting it out, and see if there's similarities or different patterns that we would do. You know what I'm saying? I think that's a great idea.
Yeah,
That could be a lot of fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Okay.
Todd, I'm with you on that one, Todd. Every rack is a pattern. And if
Yep.
you watch people with 9-ball, they usually have a pattern that they prefer, whatever the case is, whether it's the hardest run out or I feel like this is the easiest run out. I see a lot of 1, 3, 5, 6, 8, 4, 7, 5 on the bottom, or I see, I don't know why people do it, 1, 2, 3 on the top. But I do, if I'm not pattern racking 9-ball, which I don't typically in 9-ball just because I haven't found one that works for me, I will put that 2-ball in a specific spot at least, minimum.
Yeah. So Craig says, but if you pattern rack and don't put a ball in,
Then you're screwed, Craig.
absolutely.
Absolutely.
Bang Time says, just use the WPA standard 8-ball rack. I'm sorry,
I
not.
believe that's
What
the
is
rack
that?
I use, actually.
Is that where it's 2 stripes behind the head ball, or is it stripes solid and then...
Stripes solid. I
Stripes
believe
solid.
that's the standard. I'm not sure, but I think that's where I got that from. I've been using that rack for so long, I don't remember. But yeah, I go, no matter what it is I use as the head ball, stripe or solid, then the next 2 balls are going to both be a different suit, and then
Well, I
those
believe-
rotate down the way,
I
right?
believe
Yeah.
DCA rules say random with stripes solid on the end.
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
And that on that rack, that's the only thing where it breaks the pattern. You would have a perfect
Oh,
pattern,
God.
but then on the back corners, you have to flop those, so you lose the pattern.
Right.
And so,
All right.
I mean, technically, you could call that pattern racking.
It would be.
That's the way I rack.
Yeah.
All right, you guys ready for the next clip?
Yeah?
All right, Jake, you're. You know what? You and me are gonna do this one. How's that?
Okay.
And again, it looks like it's me breaking again because I get to play Rob again.
Oh, this is us shooting again?
Yep. Here we go.
Why don't you... I'll talk for you talk for Rob.
Okay.
So we have Dante at the table, noticeable by the red glove. That's a really long break bridge. I can't do that.
It's because I'm Filipino.
I know.
Okay.
So he lost control of that cue ball just a little.
Or did I? No, I'm just joking.
6, 7, made a ball. You do have a good shot on that 1 ball, though. It's not a fun shot. You can do a couple of things here. I would probably shoot it in the bottom left corner and risk that side pocket there, because shooting it in the top right, or upper left, that happens, and I don't like that angle on the 2 ball. So here, I believe it's just going to be pretty simple, slow roll to 2, or come off that bottom left rail and out a little bit for the 3 ball. Perfect. Oh, that's beautiful angle. I think you're going to draw it, because if you use top... No,
So
you're
you
using top.
collide with the 9.
That's what I'm worried about.
Yeah.
Oh, you scally. Tried to cheese
I
it.
wonder if you were cheese riding right there.
So this is going to be a top right shot. Go 1, 2, well, maybe 3, but try to get below that 5 ball. perfect. Look at this. Probably a stop shot. Maybe a little draw, get closer than 6. Yeah. So this one I'd be worried about going too far off that bottom rail, so I'd probably use a little bit of top with some soft speed. Yep. Uh-oh.
Oh no.
No.
So right here, this is where Rob gets to come to the table.
So I've missed a ball in hand shot is the only shot I've shot.
That's why Dante picked this.
Yeah.
Hey, I have some clarification on these picks. Okay, I will clarify that earlier. It's not nothing against Rob. Rob actually beat me pretty good during league playing 9-ball, so he is a very good shot. So anyway, he just decided to stop shot. I probably would have came off the rail and got a little bit closer, but that was just me. But he's pretty eagle-eyed right now, so that was a nice, easy shot. Come back off the rail, and then Dunzo right here.
I don't even remember this, honestly, but it couldn't have been too long ago because I'm playing with Keo.
So to be fair to Rob, I mean, that night that we played these matches, which unfortunately that was, so I had to do a whole lot of scrubbing of my computer because I had a whole bunch of like content and whatnot, and I knew that Rob was going to be here tonight. So I just wanted to find some matches that we were involved in or that he was involved in, and that was the only clips that I found. And he was actually having an off night, and plus he had been drinking and whatnot. So
Rob doesn't drink.
You drink?
You were drinking?
Was?
You were.
I usually only drink on days that end and why. I don't know.
Yeah. But anyway, so Rob wasn't, in his best form, but that was one of the clips that I saw that he actually capitalized on my miss. So, okay, moving on to another question. Now, this is a little weird, but the other day when I was at League, somebody had come up to me and asked me for a cigarette. Along with that question was a very pungent onions, chili cheese fries odor that came with it. Now, if I was on the table and trying to concentrate, I know for me that would be very offensive. How do you guys feel about people who not necessarily probably don't know that they stink because they've gone nose blind to their own odor?
I was wondering where you're going to go with that hygiene question. I've actually played that team, and yeah, it's a little distracting. So I do feel that hygiene is, for one, general good idea, especially just for yourself, but nobody wants to be known as that person. At least I don't think so. And I would consider that a distraction, not intentional, but it is, It's like if I farted on you, Rob, while you're playing.
Oh, yeah. I could see that happening once in a while. Yeah, I've never really run into any issues that I can remember with that necessarily. More so than anything, I've run into people that were annoying to me because they're wearing a bottle of cologne. It's like they bathed in cologne.
Yep.
It's that same, it's just
That's another part of it too.
Yeah.
Is when they're overly smelling good. That gives me a headache. That's one of the fastest way to give me a headache. The chili cheese fries does two things. It either agitates me or makes me really hungry.
I hope that didn't make you hungry. That would have been awful.
Have you never had Frito pie? That is delicious, but it smells
just
horrendous.
Like that.
Yeah.
I do have a funny story.
Send it.
So one time I'm playing APA down at the Roy Y, which is a kind of like a redneck biker bar. It wasn't too busy, but it was busy enough because you have 8 people on each team, and I went to lean over the table and put my leg up on the table, how you do that? And I split my pants wide open in the middle of the league. I had to play the rest of the match with split pants.
Oh my gosh. That is funny. Oh, okay. Just a side question before we move on to the. I think we got 2 more clips. Do you find it distracting when girls wear provocative clothing when they shoot pool?
No.
I find it entertaining.
You
Not
think it's
distracting at all.
yeah?
No. When I was playing at the Red Barn a long time ago before I met my current wife, my only wife, I don't know why I said current, and there was one of the bartenders there who would play in mini skirts, and it didn't bother me because I knew what she was trying to do.
Yeah.
It was just more of like a freebie, I guess, so it worked out for me. So FYI, ladies who think that works, it might work, but it's still a freebie for the guys to look at you.
Rob, what's your input on that?
Pretty close to the same, yeah. I definitely think there are some women out there that are intentionally trying to use that ploy or that extra button loose or what have you, but I don't. It's never affected my game, but it has made me pretty happy on the sidelines.
Right.
So, I think this was over at Malarkey's long time ago than when Malarkey was open. Or it might have been at the break room. I don't know. They kind of blend together. But I remember I was sitting there and I was looking across the way. It was kind of some distance. And there was this pool player bent over shooting. And I noticed that they had some nice legs, tan. And the skirt was really high. But when that pool shooter stood up, it was a dude.
Yes.
I have you seen that dude?
Oh.
He's in a dress. I mean, I have nothing against people who believe in that or identify in that manner, but I was like, got me. You got me. Anyway, all right. Okay, let's move on to another. You know what? This whole time I'd even change over the video clips. So you guys think about something to talk about while I get this ready here.
You got any fun stories, Rob?
No.
No, really?
Real quick, back to the hygiene. I did think about one thing that bothers me is like when you got somebody that's sitting there, they're playing against you, and they're eating food the whole time, and they're eating finger food,
the grease,
and they're picking up the ball, and they got their hands all over the rails. I'm like, oh, come on.
Oh yeah, that's disgusting.
Yeah, I hate when your food comes out right as you start your match or in the middle of your match. Yeah, because then you're like, I don't want to eat it, but then sometimes you're really hungry and you have to. But yeah, that feeling of grease on your hands. You'll see me wipe my hand on my pants even without eating. It just, I like my hands to be clean.
I typically won't do it, even if my food came out. It'll just get cold because I hate playing and eating.
All right, you guys ready for the next one? We got one more after this one. So this one, I'm going to take both your guys' input because it's me playing Nathan Smith, and it is a game of 9-ball, I think. Here we go.
Is this event play, casual play?
Casual. It's all casual.
Lead us off on this one, Rob.
Who was that broke?
That was the other guy.
Nathan.
Ooh, are we playing DCA rules here? Because if we are, I'm probably pushing out.
I forgot about that rule.
But without a push out, I'd probably play safe behind the 6-2 over there.
I think ideally, if you're going to push out, is get that one in a spot where they can't try that 1-9. Because it looks like that's what he's trying to do right here.
I didn't even notice the 9 was there, but that definitely looked like what he's going for.
Yeah, that might have been a two-way attempt.
I didn't even look for the 9. Oh, that was Nathan. I could tell by the shoes, right?
Looks like a setup for a jump shot. I can't tell, Dante. Are you able to see that one ball? Do you remember?
Hey, I just want to say thanks to Lee Baldwin for joining us, Friday Night Lights. Thank you. Giving you a shout out.
Well, now you just made me nervous, Lee. Nice kick shot.
I can't tell for sure who's even who here.
There's Nathan?
Yep.
Right? Okay.
Is this Nathan shooting now, Dante?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, this is Dante shooting now.
This is
Is it Dante?
Okay.
Oh, okay. Well, I think we're going to go off that bottom rail and back up towards that 2 ball. Yep. It looks almost like he was trying to make that combo.
Longer than he wanted, right?
Yeah.
What do you do there? Like, I mean, it looks like he's going to scratch.
You could play a pretty easy safe, run into that 4.
Yeah.
But you can also go past it because it doesn't look like it's immediate in the way. So
maybe he can draw out of there. It just looks like he'd be straight into the side pocket if he shoots this. But
no, I think he's gonna try to bank it. That's what it looks like to me. Little bank shot with some draw to get back shape on the 4.
I think he's cutting it to the corner.
Oh, it's a carom.
Oh, he just selected for the safe.
Carom.
And he sold out on that safe.
Oh, there's that saying again, selling out.
What do you think here, Rob?
It's hard to tell how much angle he has, but I mean, just
guess.
shoot it into the corner and play. Well, he's drawing it back, but I mean, personally, I think I would be following on this shot.
Yeah.
Looks like a lot easier to get in between the 6, 7, or the 8 rather than
Yeah,
come
because
backwards.
I think with that draw, he's going to run into
It's-
that middle
there's-
diamond on the upper left rail there. And then you have to get back shape on that 4 because it doesn't look like it goes past that 5. So yeah, I think top would be the better option. That worked out
Yeah.
pretty well for him. Let's
Not
see where he's
really.
at. Yeah, because now he's going to run into that 5. You don't know where that's going to go.
You're missing the 3. He's on the 3.
Oh, huh. Never mind.
Yeah.
I've done this once in League 2.
So he'll just float down for the 4 in the side, 5 to the corner by the 9,
Yeah.
6. I mean,
None of these shots are going
These
to be
are-
particularly hard shots.
Yeah, this is gonna be pretty easy.
I think if you just get middle table on that 4, you'll be just fine. Slow roll up. The only issue that I see is if you're on the wrong side of the 5, getting back on that 6 is going to be tough.
Yeah, I'm gonna want to be pretty flat on the 5, and I mean that's all you gotta do is stop it right there.
Yeah,
Good stop shot. Another stop shot on the 5.
perfect. Just bring it out.
He squirted out a little on it.
Oh, that's great. You can either go straight down or draw just a little bit.
Yeah, but I just
You don't want to overdraw it. My luck, I'd underdraw it. It'd be fun.
now he's gonna take it to the 6 will go on the top left.
Yeah, that's great. Same kind of shot here.
This one,
That's a little bit more angle here.
What do you think?
Gonna go rail.
I think 2 rails, but he might draw it off 1 rail. It's so hard to tell how much angle you got.
Look at that.
Yeah,
Beautiful
1
shot.
rail. That's
a good
shot.
stroke.
That's pretty quality.
Yeah, perfect. Just gonna go. What'd you do here? A lot of people might go forward, try and shoot that 8 back up there. Either one would work.
I would go forward on this one just because it looks like the side was going to be pretty tight.
Yeah. And the 9's pretty close to that bottom left.
Yeah. Easy little draw off the rail here. Shorten up the shot if he wants to get close.
Here I'd like to go 3 rails just to show off.
Yeah?
Sometimes. Not in a match, but for funsies I would.
See, he wasn't greedy on that. I probably would have been more greedy on that
Try
shot.
to get closer to that 9.
Yeah.
Oh,
and,
don't ever.
and sometimes, that costs me a rat.
It
'cause
does.
I get greedy.
I know that feeling. You have to tell yourself, don't get greedy.
Yeah, you got to trust your shot making ability. Yeah.
Well, that was pretty good.
That's pretty clean. That's pretty clean, right?
You guys are a good couple when it comes to commentating. That's awesome. You know what's funny is I was trying to figure out what Dana was talking about. Let the puppy out.
Oh.
I guess my dogs can be heard in the background. I apologize for that. Good tip from little Chris: turn off the auto exposure on my camera so it doesn't light up all of a sudden and whatnot. Thanks. Maybe you can show me how to do that because I think I was using my camcorder on this one. So
I'd be willing to guess the problem was the front door of the bar there opening too.
Oh,
Every
yeah.
time the door
That
opens.
could be
Yeah,
it, yeah.
that table's
Probably.
right next to the door to the bar, and they have blackout curtains. So anytime that door opens, depending on the time of day, all you get is just light.
all right. So let's transition over to this right here. So my next question: the rating system in APA, BCA, and UPA. What are your opinions about that?
Go ahead, Rob.
I will start with BCA. BCA using the Fargo rating system for most of the country. I don't know that that's true across the entire country. I know you got some out-of-towners in here. Maybe if they're playing BCA, they can tell us if they're using Fargo rate. But Fargo rate, in my opinion, the best system out there for any kind of skill level rating, handicapping. Still not perfect, but it's the closest thing we have to it.
System.
Yeah,
Really.
you're never going to, but it's the closest thing we have to it.
I was actually thinking about that the other day because I don't know if anyone watches Savannah Eason. She's like 12 or young, anyways, and phenomenal. But she's only a 500 Fargo rating, and I'm a 505, and she would blow me out of the water.
Who?
Savannah Eason in Vegas.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, but she only has, I think,
Dana says hi.
280 something robustness. But at the same time, if you look at a 500 in Oregon, they're. I don't want to say this wrongly because the group of people that I play with, we are all pretty even with some of the higher rated players. The 550s, 580s, I can typically hold my own with. So I think that I'm a little underrated, but I have a lot of robustness. My same rating to a player who plays with someone like Chris Byers in Oregon, but is a 505, has more information and knowledge from playing Chris Byers than I do. In his game, I mean, I've played these guys. They've phenomenal players. Like, they're really smart. They play a lot of saves. They play smart percentage shots. And I that's the only part I see wrong with BCA. Hopefully that came out right.
So the big thing about the Fargo rate that BCA uses, though, there's
Rob, you're going to have to talk just a little bit louder.
There's a 100-point swing in Fargo, right? So when you're shooting your average day, you're shooting exactly what your Fargo rating is. When you're shooting great, you're shooting 50 points higher, and when you're having an off day, you're shooting 50 points lower.
Right, but my point of this is
that's a big swing.
It's very difficult for me to go up with Fargo because my group of people, if I was to play top rated players all the time in a bigger league, I would probably go down. If I was playing lower rated players at my standard rate, I would probably go up. That's what I'm trying to get at.
I don't think that that's the thing that keeps us from moving a lot, because I feel the same way as we don't move. It's very hard to move up or down.
Yeah.
But I think it's because we don't play long enough sets in the league.
It could be.
You know, you're not playing. What difference does it make if I play a 700 and I play a race to 4 for our BCA 9-ball leagues here? We play 4 racks. If I win 1 and he wins 3, that doesn't tell a whole lot. It doesn't tell a big story, right?
No, it doesn't. I thought it was lower than that, Drew. I'm sorry, but that's still pretty low in robustness. What about APA?
APA, I feel like there's something has changed recently.
Like what?
Because I used to have a really, really good grasp on the APA skill levels and how they worked. I don't play APA leagues anymore, but when I did, I was a captain of several teams, and I kept spreadsheets on all my players.
That's a little creepy.
And and this is before, one of the reasons I did it, I started doing it before they had all the nice little stats in the app and everything that told you everything. But I kept all the stats on all my players, and I could basically know when I had a player that was about to go up or down. I was very good at being able to tell when that was going to happen.
That's the engineer in you.
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah. Geeking out on stats, right? I am a little bit of a stat geek.
I have like a brain chart or where you have the big circle in the middle, little ones on the back. I have that on all you guys, but how to win.
Okay. So anyways, those numbers, what I had figured out there worked really well. And to be honest, this was for 8-ball only. I never did quite grasp how 9-ball skill levels were working. But 8-ball skill levels, things just started not making sense. And for the most part, I've seen a lot of players, at least in our local APA level, that are lower than they used to be, and lower than I think they should be.
Kind of like Rob and Jake in 8-ball.
And not drastically. I'm just saying there's a lot of players that are like one skill level lower than they have been, and most of these are established players that were at a level of doesn't matter what level you call it, a 4, 5, 6, 7. They were playing at that level for years, and all of a sudden they're down one.
Well, that's what happened to me. I mean, it took about 3 or 4 sessions. I don't remember how long exactly. And then I went down in 8-ball. I've been a 6 pretty much since I started playing APA. And I played for 3 years, a long time ago, and then just restarted when I first met you guys again. And it just hasn't changed until I just had some real bad sessions there.
It could be. I had one theory to this. It could be the COVID time catching up to everybody's ratings, because a lot of people didn't play that much during COVID, and so then you came back, and it wasn't instantly going to affect your rating. It was going to take 2 sessions of not playing as good as you were playing pre-COVID. So that may have had something to do with it. I don't know.
I noticed I would get out of breath because I got some COVID weight.
I was wondering about that.
Yeah.
So that's really interesting, and that's awesome that you guys have that opinion and that you shared it, because I'm pretty sure you're not the only ones. Final question before we move on to closing down the show, because usually I only like to keep it on for about an hour. Do you feel that you are where you should be in rank-wise?
I'd say overall, yes, but I do honestly feel, and I'm not trying to say this because I'm an egotist, I do feel I should be Fargo more like a 520, 530. I really do, but that's my fault just because I haven't been as consistent as I have been in the past. I will blame my COVID weight on that.
Rob, what do you say?
It's funny because I feel like I'm probably in about the same boat with my Fargo rating. I feel like I'm probably 30 to 40 underrated in Fargo.
Yeah.
As far as APA goes, my 9-ball it's where I expect it to be. I definitely play worse days where I couldn't hold a 7, and sometimes I play better days. The 8-ball and APA, I'm definitely getting away with.
I just don't like slopping 8-ball. It bugs me.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah, I mean, I don't feel like I'm way off though.
Yeah.
It's consistency. I think if I was more consistent, it is hard to move in Fargo though.
Yeah.
You just play enough matches.
If I played more, I'd go up no problem. But I don't really play.
I want to say shout out to Ruben 760. I haven't seen you in a grip. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate you supporting the channel. Sorry I didn't mean to bust into your guys'...
What about yours though, Dante? What's your Fargo, and do you think you're at where you should be?
Okay, so here's my story. My Fargo, when I was kind of serious about like taking it to the next level, the highest Fargo I've ever held was a 557. COVID hit, and I was playing these little dinky tournaments with high-rated players, and then finally when I say high-rated, I'm talking about like 600 plus, and then when I got back into league, to my surprise, my Fargo was at 505. So currently right now, I think I'm holding a 514. Do I feel that I'm a higher rated player? I think I have the potential to play at a higher level. But I'm one of those people who trust in the system. And regardless if somebody thinks that I should shoot or that I should have a higher Fargo rating, there's a reason why I'm not there, because obviously I'm not consistent enough, or because the system, even though it's something that we have to follow as a guide, is faulty. So regardless, I can't do anything about it except for to shoot the best that I can when I can shoot. So do I feel that I'm where I should be at? Yes and no. I think that I can hang with the best of them, but I have to be on my A game, which doesn't happen as often as I'd like it to be.
Yeah. Well, I will say that you have one of the most solid and consistent fundamentals of most of the people that I've watched play pool. You're not really, I don't see you change up your stance a lot. You have the same stance every time, pretty solid pre-shot routine, and I think that helps with overall consistency. I feel funny, I got a chicken wing it sometimes, I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing anymore.
All right. Okay, so we are currently at 57 minutes and 53 seconds. So what we're going to do right here first, I'm going to let Jake and Rob talk about some of the local tournaments that we have here. So just in case if we have some local people who've joined the chat and are catching the tail end of this, let us know of some tournaments that you know of that they might be interested in going. Time and date, or time and place.
Well, obviously the break room has a tournament, I think, almost every Saturday, unless they have some event going on there. Either ran by Cassie Bryant or James Fox. James, I've never been to Cassie's tournament, so sorry, Cassie. I'm sure you hold a good one. I've only been to James's, and I know that he holds a good tournament. He changes it up between 8-ball, 9-ball, chip tournament, 8-ball, chip tournament, 9-ball. So those are fun to go to. I really love the chip tournaments. And then I think there's one on Fridays now at Pink Slip Billiards, ran by Brian Trudeau. Who's the Prime Minister of Canada? Is that Justin Trudeau? I always get him confused. So it's Brian Trudeau, Pink Slip Billiards, Friday at 9.
Oh, man.
What about you, Rob?
Yeah, James Fox running the chip tournament. That is on, I'm just going to throw it out there so everybody knows. It will be Saturday the 18th, an 8-ball chip tournament.
1 o'clock.
1 o'clock. The other great tournaments that I know about in the area, Stimpy's, every Monday. Pierce County Local Pool on Facebook is a great place to find all these local tournaments. But the Cedar Inn, down in Olympia, Lacey area, runs some great tournaments every other Sunday.
Yeah.
Every other Sunday, yeah. Those are the ones I know about.
Yes, I think those are some good tournaments, definitely. And you don't, especially with the chip tournament, you don't have to be like a 600 or above to play it, right?
No.
Let us know what the equalizer is actually in that.
It's the chips. So if you get lucky enough, you get real chips, because then you get to put your hand out and say, "Pay me my money." But I believe this current one, if you're a 600 and above, you get 2 chips. So it's basically like 2 lives. If you lose 2 matches in a row, you're out. I think it's under 600 to 550, you get 3 chips. 500, 550, you get 4 chips. 450 to 500, you get 5 chips or something like that. As you go lower in Fargo, you get more chips, so you get more lives. So it kind of equals out, and you'd be surprised. You might think that you're not going to hang with these guys, but with those chips, that's in their head.
Yeah, that's good.
And then add to that, so when you're winning on these tables, this is the advantage that those high-level players get. If I'm a 600, I only get 2 chips, and you come to the table to play me, I beat you, you lose a chip, and I stay at the table, and the next challenger comes in. So
then you have to wait.
The players that are winning get the advantage of staying on the table they're at and playing again.
That part's fun.
And you win, and you play again on that table, and you win, and you play again on that table.
Yeah, so you get to get that, get in the zone if you're winning.
It's fun to kind of be king of the table, right?
That's a good
sit
feeling.
there and own a table for a while. Yeah, it's a blast. It's a great experience for those low-level players. Like, they come in there, they get 4, 5, 6 chips, and they get to play against some of the local 600 and betters.
Yeah, and everyone's always really nice. I've never really had any issues with any of the players at the break room. We all know each other. Yeah, it's a good time. You guys should show up.
Cool. All right. For those of you who don't know, if you've ever been to my Facebook page right here, it is the Talking Runs, Making Runs, TRMR tournament channel. Just send me a message, say that you like it, and you'll be forever notified of the tournaments that I might hold. Now, mine, sometimes I'll have them at the break room, sometimes I'll have them at the house, or sometimes I'll have them in an obscure location. But it's really geared towards all players, really. So I rarely ever don't want somebody to just come in and just, like a Joe Tamara playing against, like, Deborah Gross. That's just totally unfair. But I will have these tournaments, so the only way that you'll know about them is if you like us and friend us on not only the Facebook page, but also like and subscribe to Talking Runs and Making Runs. Whew, I think I'm out of breath. Okay, so last things last here. I'm going to give each of them a chance to give their shout-outs to whoever they want. We're going to start with Rob. Or actually, we're going to start with Jake with telling us what you brought with you.
Oh.
For anybody who's interested. So.
Yes, so I have a lot of things for sale. This one I brought because Brian wanted to look at it, but I'm sorry, Brian, you're not here. It's a Predator Air 2 Jump Cube for sale. Pretty decent condition, as you can see.
I'll give you $10.
I'll tell you to go after yourself. I was thinking about $200. They retail for like $260, $299, depending. There is no grip on it though. You guys should know, but 3-piece. I just got an Air Rush, so this one's for sale.
Awesome.
And what did you say the price was on it?
200.
200.
Yeah, but it's not 100% firm. Just depends on how you approach me.
All right. Rob, what do you got for us? Who do you want to give some shout-outs to?
Oh, I'm going to give a shout-out to my wife, Janice, for letting me take off for pool stuff all the time and not give me a hard time about it, although she does play with me. So I'll give my other shout-out to my team, Sticks and Stones.
My wife, too, Leah. Thank you. I love you.
My girlfriend, Gwen, who's right over here. Yeah. Oh, there she is. Okay, she got the towel on her head.
Look at me, I'm gonna lie.
I just want to say one final thank you for all the people who supported us, not only just for this live stream, joining us and hanging out with us. Hopefully you guys poured your favorite drink, learned some stuff about your local players, shared whatever you wanted to share with, because this is a free hub for all pool players and communities. So we got Greg, we got the practice room with Dana, we got Jim from Bang Time, we got Lee Baldwin from Friday Night Lights, another local content creator, Little Chris, we got Jim, we got Drew, Gwen, Todd, I saw you earlier, Roobster, who else do we got
you
here?
Broke 15.
I did break. Oh, hey. But like I said, and American Hustle, can't forget about you, Brian Cutler. I want to say thank you very much. It was really fun hanging out with you guys. I hope my guys that are behind me, they had a lot of fun, and that they come back. So, you guys have anything else?
We're going to watch one more?
Oh yeah, there is one more. My bad. I'm a terrible host. Okay, here we go. Last one. I actually closed it down, but we are going to get it right.
So, fun backstory on this match that we're about to watch here is it was a team event, 9-ball in Lincoln City, and we ended up winning this one. However, I do want to float my own ego just for a second. I won 6 out of the 11 games in this entire match. Only lost 1.
Oh, 6 out of the 11 for the team for the team run.
Yeah.
Nice. Is this year?
Yeah. No, that was a couple years ago. And this is before I worked on my 9-ball break. I had just got that new tip put on that day.
Okay, you get to be quiet while we get to.
That's gonna be tough. Do my best.
Rob, I'll let you take point on this. I'll just add here's and there's. First thing that I do want to add, if you're going to be on a TV table, I don't think stripes is the best choice for pool gear. Just saying.
So you got to be going safe here. Oh, look at this guy, aggressive.
That was a nice shot right there.
But nice bank.
Very nice bank.
Now, do you have any idea where this rack fell into the overall scheme of things?
I know all
You'd
of
already
it.
been shooting a little while before this rack?
I'm very much in the zone.
Because if that's rack 1 coming out, I'd be surprised for you to go for a bank like that. But
No,
if
this is
you
rack 2.
already know you're in stroke, yeah.
So, I'm thinking.
Now, do you know if you were playing safe there? Because it looks like it's.
I think he was, because there was no way he was getting any kind of shape for the 4.
I assumed it was.
He looks like he's in jail here. So, Rob, what do you think? Two rail kick, or do you think he's going to go?
I mean, I don't know that the two
Up
rail
and
kick's
back.
even there. It looks like it might have to be a one rail kick. I mean, it really looks jumpable if you've got that dart jump. You could jump that 6, I'm sure. Yeah, that's assuming it's not married to the 5.
You know what I just noticed? Is that Brian Brosman
Yep.
on the small screen there?
He was
Hey,
on my
Brian.
Him and Harold Baring.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
It just doesn't look like he's got more than the one rail shot.
Who's this player that you're playing against? Do you remember?
I have no idea.
We'll call him the old man.
Yeah, that was an entire blur.
You know what? Actually, I'm going to rename him. I'm going to call him Mr. Smithers.
Smithers, that works.
Smithers, crush this cup.
Yeah, he's going to go.
He's really thinking about
he's
this.
Go one rail
so.
to the head rail. Yeah, it's just. Well, no, there was a 2 rail there.
Oh, he was very close on that one.
I didn't think that he could get there on that. Yeah, that was definitely hittable. So you got ball in hand now.
Whoop. Let me stop it at a good point where Mr. Stripes is not in the way here. Okay, so obviously the 4 ball is next, but how do you think he's going to get shape for that 3 and then obviously also move up table?
Oh, he's just going to cut this to the top left corner, and I mean, I have a hard time remembering how he likes to play this, where they'll draw it back for the 4, but I would go forward. I go forward to the long rail.
Okay, so forward to the long rail.
Over for the 4 in the bottom corner there.
Yeah, I agree.
But that depends on where the 5 is, also, depending on how I would want to play.
This is good. I was so nervous.
See where the 5 is.
I would be nervous too because it looks like your glasses are upside down.
Yeah, it's a common problem among men my age.
Actually, those are specially made for you, aren't they?
Yes. Billiard-glasses.com.
Yeah, you're still fine here, though. Some right English, you'll roll right up for the 5.
Beautiful shot. You
clobbered that one, though. Yeah, that's easy to do on those diamond tables.
I'm doing my best. I know this match in and out, so. Oh, this is not.
I'm assuming you're putting that in the top right corner.
So I'm thinking you're going to go forward.
Just gonna hold right. I think he's just going to hold for the 6 on the side right there.
I don't think that's his style.
Yeah, it's definitely not what he's doing because he'd have to jack up for it.
Yeah.
Oh
no.
Maybe it's what he should have done.
Yeah.
Wow.
I thought that 7 was going to hit that 5 a little bit more full.
That was like the walk of shame back to the aisle over there.
Yeah.
Are you whispering in Leah's ear like, oh my God, I can't believe I just did that?
No, I think Harold's keeping track. I don't talk much when I'm on the sidelines when I'm playing.
I do.
I try not to.
I do at league. I don't do here.
I do. I talk to myself. I'm like, God.
I try to stay in my own head zone.
I thought I was done, this guy.
So I should just float this forward off the, one.
For these longer shots, I'm not a big fan of the open bridge.
No?
Wow.
I about jumped for joy right there.
Yeah, he hit that horribly. I tend to use an open bridge a lot when I'm playing a follow shot.
I use open bridge primarily, unless it's going to be like a hard draw shot, and then I'll use a closed bridge. Or if I'm playing really poorly, sometimes I'll go to a closed bridge and tighten it up a little bit, and that seems to help me get out of that funk.
So is he going for it? Yeah.
Wow.
You guys are in for a treat here.
Yeah, I feel that you're going to go 2, 3 rails. 3 rails back to the 9.
2, 3, maybe even 4.
1, 2.
Ooh, you had a lot of Spanglish.
3 rails.
Yeah, I would have seen you coming a lot closer down to that corner pocket.
I was hoping.
It's nice to know that you keep your phone in your pocket when you're shooting.
Doesn't everybody?
I don't.
Oh.
I don't want anything in my pockets when I'm shooting, honestly.
Sometimes my mom calls. I'll play one-handed.
There you go.
That was a nice cut.
Very good.
Yeah.
Way to save face.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Jake was probably just itching in his seat, noticing that I haven't gone through his video yet. So there you have it, Jake.
I just squeezed that one in.
Yeah. Okay. As I was saying earlier, not to take away from Jake, that was good shooting. Thank you for sharing that. And you were actually on the TV table for that one, weren't you? That was awesome.
Oh,
Yeah.
was it?
Yeah.
That's a lot of.
From
Yeah.
Railbird.
That's a lot of pressure right there.
I
Just
also had the game-winning match, the Hill 11-11 one.
full disclosure, that was a video that I did take off of from a video that Jake sent me. Railbird has all the rights to that. I have nothing to do with it. I just collected that one match. So anyway, again, thank you so much, Jimmy Allen.
Jimmy Allen?
Jimmy Allen.
Do I know Jimmy?
Do you not know Jimmy
I
Allen?
know a Jimmy Allen.
Jimmy Allen. He's
I like this.
he has a redhead. He's a redhead.
Is he shorter?
He's short.
You can do that.
He has a sister. Oh, what is his name?
Jimmy Allen, do you remember me?
He said hi and then he misses you.
That's Jimmy. I love that guy.
Oh
I
yeah.
haven't met him. I've seen him a long time.
I haven't talked to him for years, and he says hi to you.
Well, yeah.
He was actually on our BCA team when we went
Called
to.
you a cutie and said that he misses you.
Oh,
Well, so you
well, I
get that.
appreciate that. Thank you. You're the best.
I'm the only one that can
Obviously, I have somebody who scrubs through the messages. Hey, thanks, Jimmy Allen, for showing up and hanging out. Yeah, you were. So, little story before we take off. Jimmy Allen was on our BCA team. First time ever playing BCA, right? We went to Lincoln City and we placed. Hence the reason why I had such a high Fargo, because we did so well both times. We placed both times at the 2 consecutive years that we went there.
Nice.
So,
Nice.
yeah. And he
I
was.
played on my team once for Lincoln City.
Who did?
Jimmy.
Jimmy did?
Yeah. Yeah, he dressed up in a vest.
Yeah!
Yeah,
I love vests.
he's a nice guy. That was back when I dressed up nice too. I don't anymore.
Oh my gosh, memory lane. Thanks for joining us, Jimmy. Again, thank you again for everybody who stopped by and said hello and hung out with us. I appreciate you guys. Love you all. Make sure you guys are treating each other good. Be safe out there. Be fair out there. And like always, hope to see you on the table. See you guys.